It's swami time. It's swami time. It is swami time. Hey everybody, welcome to 2019 Family Feud Week 1 Swami predictions. We're going back to video format this year. We may do some fun with pictures. We may do some others. But this week we're going to do a quick video. I know everybody, I appreciate all the input. I like the picks that people throw in there. I like people breaking down drafts, but we really know that there's only one source for your weekly prognostications, your tomfoolery, your shenanigans, if you will. It comes from the ball. It comes from the Swami. So here it is. Hoping to do these every week for you. Maybe some special editions here and there, but this week we're going to throw those out there. It's that time of year again. You can smell the fresh cut grass, hear the band playing, hear the people in the stands milling around. It's football season. You smell the locker room. I like it. This is my time of year. Get to start watching ball games and get to start playing fantasy. Very excited to have. We got new blood in the league. We've got our old veterans. We got some people that are looking to add to their legacies. Got others that are chasing their first ring after getting close a few times. Then we have new blood that's in there. So really glad to have everybody here. So let's go ahead and let's get started. When I first generated the schedule and I saw Sam Houston's Hellraisers at Young Guns, I couldn't have been more pleased with the matchup. Two youngest members in our league going head-to-head. Start with Sam Houston's Hellraisers. Been wanting to get into the league for a long time. We all knew that. And I got to tell you, he was cool and composed and had a draft plan and put together a really nice roster from what I can see. Did some off-season trading to pick up David Johnson. It was nice work. Didn't have to give up a ton of draft capital. Was able to snag Aaron Jones. And honestly, if Aaron Jones is doing everything that they're saying he's going to do, this could be a really nice 1-2 punch with these two. The Aaron Jones thing, I just will go ahead and say this. I'm going to say that I'm not completely sold that Aaron Rodgers is going to be comfortable with the ball out of his hands. I know the new offensive coordinator wants to run the ball, wants to mix it up and not put such a heavy load on him. I just don't know how Rodgers is going to do that. When the game's on the line or they want to score some points, I really see him still wanting to throw the ball around. So we'll see how that works out. Super talented wide receiver core. Alshon Jeffrey, Odell Beckham, and Kennedy Golladay. That could be an elite unit with those three right there, depending on their usage. We will see. But talent-wise, I don't know if there's more talented trio that we have in our league. The rest of his ancillary staff with Andrews, Butker, it's all going to be good, the Browns. Wentz should be solid. I mean, the guy, he proved before he got hurt, he could do it. I think he's in a good offense. I think he's on a good team. Wentz is going to be solid. That's going to be a good team. Just wanted to say shout out to the Hellraisers for a composed draft in his first one and putting together a good start. Young Guns, rising star in our league, came within a breath of putting another ring into his ring collection at home. Gave up a lot of draft capital making that push last year, and it kind of showed in this year's roster. No doubt, best wide receiver core in the league. DeAndre Hopkins, Devontae Adams. There is no other 1-2 punch like that at the wide receiver position in our league. The question marks for me come in on the running back side. Excuse me. Tevin Coleman in San Francisco. I've always loved Tevin Coleman. I thought that if he could get a featured job somewhere, he could be a star. He's never going to get a better fit than San Francisco with Shanahan. Problem is he's got Matt Breida that's outplaying him and pushing him. San Francisco may not be that good from what I've seen so far. That's a question mark, but one that could hit. Kerryon Johnson has been dynamite. Plays for an awful team in Detroit, but really good. Derrick Henry absolutely tore the league up the second half last year. If he continues on that pace, he's going to have those running backs hit, though, to go with those stud wide receivers. O.J. Howard's coming back from injury. We know he's elite when he's playing. I expect him to have a really good year. Aaron Rodgers is Aaron Rodgers. If they tone him back and try to run the ball more, he may not be the Rodgers that we saw in the past, but still going to be solid at quarterback. As far as this game goes this week, I really, really like what I saw with the Hellraisers draft. I think Young Guns has too many question marks at running back. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pick the Hellraisers here in this one in week 1. So week 1, Hellraisers by 6. All right, looking at our third matchup of the week, Dreadheads at Dirte. These were two of our bigger juggernauts last year. These two teams absolutely blew it up last year. Obviously, either one could have won it. Dirte ended up getting the ring. Let's start with Dreads. Dreads has the biggest weapon in fantasy football, Patrick Mahomes. I've seen forecasts this year calling for him to go down, which he may. I don't really see it happening. The guy is a next level talent. He's in a perfect situation, perfect play calling. He's got weapons everywhere around him. He is a huge advantage at the position. When I look down this lineup, I mean, it looks like a lineup to beat to me again. What we're going to get with Todd Gurley is going to be the question. How much does he have left in the tank? And if he does, can he do it for a whole season? We saw what happened to Dreads last year and happened to a ton of fantasy teams. Carried them through the regular season, let them down in the postseason. Same thing happened to Mahomes. They just got caught on down weeks and were out just like that. That's why it's so hard to win. But when I go down this lineup with Gurley, Fournette, Stud, and then the Mahomes to Tyreek Hill connection, there's going to be weeks where that right there is almost unbeatable when those two connect for big ones. Keenan Allen is a stud. David Montgomery's the one that's getting the hype. We're talking about him right now on the text as I record this. Why? Yeah, he's talented. Yeah, he's in a good situation, but Chicago's offense isn't that good. The guy's still listed as third on the depth chart. Maybe I'm wrong, and he could hit. I've got to see it first personally. Plugging him in as a flex play this week, Dreads does. He's rolling the dice. He likes what he sees. He thinks he's going to be a star. I like that lineup though. Dirte looks good to me, top to bottom. Now we did get some news today. Antonio Brown, his starting receiver, suspended. I haven't seen details on it yet. I just saw 4 games. I don't know when that's going to start. I don't know if it's legit. I haven't dug into that yet, but Jared Goff is his signal caller. That's a great offense. They're going to spread the ball around. They're going to move it. They're going to score. Goff's going to be solid. You may not get monster performances that you get from somebody like Mahomes, but you're going to get solid every single week, and they're going to put points up. Dirte has who I think is the number 1 player in fantasy. I know Barkley's out there. I know Mahomes is out there, but as far as my favorite player to watch personally, I love Christian McCaffrey. I saw somebody just post, I hope he doesn't get hurt from overuse, so they're going to break him. I just love McCaffrey. I think he's prepared. They give him the ball. He does it all. The guy's going to score. He's going to catch passes. He's going to run. And I think Carolina's going to be improved this year. If I had the first pick, it's who I would take. Dalvin Cook, see how he comes back healthy. He looked good. He's busted some long runs in the preseason. That could be a stellar 1-2 punch in Dalvin Cook and Christian McCaffrey. Sammy Watkins is hit or miss. He has been his whole career. He's in the highest powered offense in the league. He's going to get some balls. He's going to have good weeks. Can he sustain it on a consistent basis? That's the huge question with Sammy Watkins. It always has been. And Cooper Kupp coming back from injury. He's going to have his good weeks. They're going to move the ball. George Kittle, probably the second best tight end in the league right now. This team's going to be solid. McCaffrey, when Brown is healthy and McCaffrey's going and Cook's going, Dirte's going to be there again. I really like this team. As far as this week goes, though, I'm not picking against Mahomes and Tyreek Hill. I think that they're going to come out blazing. I think Mahomes has a monster game with the question marks with Antonio Brown, whether he plays or not. I'm going to go with Dreads here in week 1. Week 1, Dreadheads by 4.5. All right now I want to take a look at the matchup between Orange Crush and the Nerd Puppets. And let's start with the Crush. Crush is the big 3 from what I can see. Keeper Deshaun Watson, Ezekiel Elliott, Julio Jones. Let's talk about those a little bit. Deshaun Watson, weapons all around him. He's got D-Hop, he's got Will Fuller. They just signed Kenny Stills. They've got Duke Johnson catching passes. He's a gamer. Watson's going to be a stud this year. I think it was a good move. I think he should vie for the top spot as one of the best quarterbacks in the league. Zeke's, one of the, if not the best running back in the game. How much they're going to use him in week 1 after no camp, how ready he's going to be to go, that's to be determined. But as far as the season goes, she couldn't have gotten luckier. Unbelievably, Elliott was available in the draft, and she was able to take him with the first. Sweated out his holdout. Now he's ready to go. She does plug him into the lineup this week. And then Julio's Julio. Atlanta's offense, like I said, should be up, and he's just a stud. The question marks come in on the other portions of her lineup. She's got 2 New England running backs, James White and Sony Michel. It's not that bad because Michelle's going to get the running attempts. James White's going to catch the ball. Those 2 could produce in the same offense. Will they do it week in and week out? It might be tough to do. Michael Gallup's also, he's a number 2 in Dallas. How much work is he going to get? They're going to do Zeke. They're going to throw Witten. They got Amari Cooper there to feed. How much work does he get? All the reports say he's been dynamite, been uncoverable in training camp. And if he emerges as a true threat, that could be a nice pickup for her. But she's going to go as far as those big 3 take her. I think during the season you're going to see really high scoring weeks from her, followed by low scoring weeks. The consistency might be hard to find. There may be some changes on the New England front. Maybe she tries to plug in another number 2 running back there. I don't know. She may go with that approach right there. Nerd Puppets. Solid draft. 3 really solid running backs. Le'Veon Bell, Damian Williams, Nick Chubb. The question marks that you see floating up are the Damian Williams in Kansas City. They signed LaShawn McCoy. Bang, there's a question mark. Damian Williams has been struggling with a hamstring, question mark. They got another 3rd running back there, Demetrius or something. I don't know. But he's in the top offense in the league, and he produced down the stretch last year. And if he gets the carries there and is the number 1 guy, that's a massive pick for Nerds. Nick Chubb, he's got everything he needs there. He's got threats on the outside to take away, so they can't stack the box. They got Baker Mayfield slinging it around. Chubb, he got rid of Duke Johnson, so he doesn't have to fight that. Nick Chubb is in an ideal spot, as is Le'Veon Bell. Le'Veon's the workhorse for the Jets. We haven't seen him in a while. Is he motivated to play? Is he not? Who knows with Le'Veon Bell. But we know he's supremely talented if they give him the ball, and if they can keep people from stacking the box against the Jets, obviously he's going to be good. They're going to have to find a way to so teams don't load the box on him. I'm really high on Matt Ryan this year. I'm high on Atlanta, period. I think he's really good. He's great in the 2-minute drill. He's got tons of weapons. He's got Ridley and Julio there. He gets Freeman back now. Their defense isn't very good, so he's playing from behind. Matt Ryan's going to be a good quarterback. Mike Evans and Stephon Diggs both have produced at this level. They're proven performers. Diggs has got to get his target share away from Thielen, but we know how good Diggs can be. He's kind of like what I was talking about with Crush. Really high weeks one week, down the next. If he needs to produce consistently for Nerds to really trust him, Mike Evans will. He's a go-to guy. I know that they're talking about Godwin getting, catches and stealing. Mike Evans is still a big-bodied receiver that can get open and can run, and he's going to get used by Jameis Winston, so Evans is going to be fine. As far as this week goes, I don't think Zeke's quite ready yet. I still have question marks about the 2 New England running backs that are in there, and I have question marks at Michael Gallup as the number 2. I think Matt Ryan has a really nice week, and I think the 3 running backs for the Nerds carry the day. We're going to go Nerds by 7 this week. Fourth game of the week that we're breaking down is going to be Boats and Hoes at Triple T's, Taylor's Tenacious Terriers. Father-son matchup, always contentious, always a lot of smack, even stuff that we don't post on the group when we're going back and forth with each other. Now, let's start with Boats. I'm just going to come out right out and say it. Boats possibly had the worst draft in league history. I say that for a reason. Not because of the team that he drafted, but because of how it was constructed. Busted early in the night, took a 0 player just to finish the draft. There will still be some adjustments being made on that. The waiver wire penalties, those will be coming out within the next day or 2. Now, having got that out of the way and said it, his team looks pretty good. For a guy that doesn't have his keeper, I mean, we've talked about Melvin Gordon on the group text ad nauseum. We've exhausted it. It's not playing. He gave up draft capital. He dropped down in his position to take Melvin Gordon. Had to work around that. Came back and ended up with 2 good running backs. Came back with Mark Ingram and James Conner. But that is literally all he has in the roster now. With no Gordon, there's nothing backing those 2 up. He's going to have to roll out receivers every single week. he better hopes that both of those hit. James Conner should be good. The guy's fierce. He plays hard for a good team. Mark Ingram should be good. He's going to a system that likes to run the ball. The question is, he's going to have to fight off a really good rook in Justice Hill. I think the guy he's going to have to fight off carries because I don't think he's as talented as Hill is. If he produces and he gets going early, maybe. Does have Lamar Jackson. Everybody's raving about Jackson. It's still Baltimore. I don't know how many points they're going to score. He's putting a lot of eggs in Baltimore's basket with Lamar Jackson and Mark Ingram. Hey, if they start rolling on offense and start going all over the place, this is going to be a good team. At wide receiver, Allen Robinson, Adam Thielen, Chris Godwin. Thielen, stud. We know what we're getting there. He's going to produce. Dealt with a back injury last year. He's coming back from that. We'll see how good he is. He looks good in the preseason. They just haven't shown a whole lot. Allen Robinson, who knows? 2 years removed from an ACL injury. Was good. At Jacksonville, signed a big contract. Hasn't done a ton up there. Should be solid, if not spectacular, in Chicago. Chris Godwin's the one that everybody's talking about. Chris Godwin has always looked good. Winston likes him. The only thing he's going to have to contend with is obviously Mike Evans is still there. They got a guy, O.J. Howard, that's still there. But Winston seems to be progressing. A lot of people are high on Tampa Bay this year. Godwin is definitely a sleeper pick, and he's been a popular talk across the fantasy community. We'll see how he does. Hunter Henry coming back from injury. We got Antonio Gates out of the way now. It's his show. Also an injury-prone guy, but Philip Rivers loves his tight ends. He's in a good offense. With Keenan Allen battling a nagging ankle injury, and no Melvin Gordon, should get a ton of work. Matchups look really good for boats across the board. Terriers, kind of similar situation at quarterback. We don't know what we're getting. Kyler Murray, Cliff Kingsbury's offense. He hasn't seen it. He's kept it under wraps the entire preseason. They say it's something we haven't seen in the NFL before. We know that Kyler Murray is a next-level talent. He's going to beat you with arm and legs. I'm excited, obviously, because I drafted him. It's a huge question mark and a roll of the dice. We'll see. Running backs, Devontae Freeman, Joe Mixon, Marlon Mack. It looked really good. I'm super high on the Falcons this year. I've already said that earlier. I think the Freeman, if he gets back to his form that he was a couple years ago, could be a steal. Joe Mixon, really great player on a really bad team. How that works out, especially with them signing a contract extension for Giovanni Bernard, he's going to eat into some of Mixon's time. He should be good. Just got to stay healthy. Marlon Mack was the pick that the Terriers were depending on. Was buying all in on the Indianapolis. Obviously, took Marlon Mack and T.Y. Hilton, and then bang, the rug got pulled out from under the Triple Terriers' feet with the biggest shocking retirement in NFL history when Andrew Luck decided to hang up his cleats. So what happens now? Absolutely anybody's guess. Brissett should be solid. Mack shouldn't be affected a ton. I think T.Y. Hilton takes the biggest hit off of that, but we just don't know until we see the product on the field. We'll know soon enough. Edelman is a 100-catch guy. He's Tom Brady's security blanket. Gronk is gone now. He's going to use Edelman even more. He should get his 8 to 15 catches a week, or he had 75 catches in 12 games last year. He is dealing with a nagging thumb injury, but he's going to be fine. He'll be solid every week. Travis Kelce's the number one undisputed tight end in fantasy football now, and the highest powered offense. He's going to be a mainstay. He's like trotting out a number one wide receiver every week. Should give the Triple T's an advantage at that position every week. And then the Ravens defense is playing a putrid Miami team. That's a great matchup for the Triple T's. As to this week, I just think that the matchups are too good for Boats and Hoes. Triple T's has some really tough matchups on his side. We don't know what we're going to get from Kyler Murray. I'm going to give the nod to Boats and Hoes in a very close one. I think it's going to be a low-scoring game, probably the lowest scoring of the week. And Boats and Hoes is going to win this one by half a point. Game of the week. Matchup number 5. Crimson Rain at the Raging Rabbis. Once again, the schedule when it generated, could we get a better week 1 matchup than the Elk City Bowl? Crimson Rain at the Raging Rabbis. Crimson was a juggernaut, one of our 3 juggernauts last year. Still looking for that first ring. Last year he had as good a chance as any to do it and fell just short again. So, he puts in another. I'm gonna call his lineup this year after the draft that he had as the all sizzle team. I mean, across the board, when you look at sizzle across the league, people that are projected with upsides or in good situations, you talk about Crimson's team. Baker Mayfield, weapons, everything around him. Added OBJ. Got Nick Chubb coming in. Got Jarvis Landry. Njoku's healthy. Everything says Baker Mayfield. They've given you all the tools. You got the keys, buddy. If you can't do it with this group, then it's Cleveland's fault. Chris Carson, back after a solid campaign last year. They're projecting even more for him this year. But we all know what the cornerstone of this team is. It's Saquon Barkley. Pretty much everybody across the country's #1 pick in fantasy drafts. It's an absolute beast. On a bad team, they do everything with him. They throw the ball, they run the ball. He's a game breaker. He busts big runs. Just an absolute stud. Josh Jacobs is the question. This could be the cornerstone of this team, making it or not making it. He's a $700,000 player. He's got the pedigree from where he comes from. He's in a decent situation in Oakland. I just think they might be young and really bad, and I'm worried about that for Oakland. But he's a really good player. He's the undisputed back there. He's going to get the work. If Oakland can put some things together around him, he might be a steal. Josh Gordon, I really don't. We all know what the deal is with Josh Gordon. Supremely upside talented, perfect situation with Brady. Could be the main threat there if he wants to be. That's the question. Does he want to be? Is he going to stay sober? Is he going to keep his head in it? Can he not be a middle midget? If he produces and he's got himself turned around, Crimson stole him. He's a sizzle player. Juju, another sizzle player, perfect situation. AB's out. He's in Oakland now. Big Ben loves to feed it to his guy. He's going to feed Juju. The guy could end up as the #1 receiver, honestly. Jared Cook in New Orleans, great year last year, should do great again this year. He's got the best kicker in the game in Justin Tucker. He's got sizzle on the bench. He's got Justice Hill and Jarvis Landry and DK Metcalf. So I called it the all-sizzle team for Crimson. On the other side of the coin, we got the Raging Rabbis. He has elected another strategy that I've seen teams really succeed with, which is the all-on-one team approach. He's got all his chips pretty much on New Orleans. Drew Brees, Alvin Kamara, Michael Thomas, and the kicker Will Lutz. He's got 4 players from the New Orleans Saints. If the Saints go and explode on offense, Rabbis are going to explode. We know Kamara's a beast. He's going to have a great year. How much is Brees going to throw the ball? How much does he have left in the tank? He looks ageless at this point, but just how much is he going to throw it? Or are they going to try to scale that back and run the ball? Who knows? Michael Thomas, he loves to feed him. It's his go-to guy. If you're going to have all your chips on one team, that's probably 3 of the best players that you could do it with in the league. Amari Cooper, #1 guy in Dallas. It's going to be his the #1 target that that Dallas has. When they throw the ball, they're looking for Amari Cooper. He bust on the scene, turned their season around last year. Should be a perfect complement. That's a nice 1-2 combo, Michael Thomas and Amari Cooper. Tariq Cohen as his #2 back. I see Cohen more as a flex play than an RB2, so we'll see how that works as he currently sits. And then Zach Ertz. Here's another interesting thing is he's going with the 2 tight end approach. He's got Zach Ertz and Evan Ingram starting. I don't hate that. It's unconventional, but Rabbis likes what he sees. It's not going to be enough this week. It's not going to be enough against Saquon, Juju, Gordon, Mayfield. Although I think Rabbis have a good team, and I think he's going to be competitive this year. I think Crimson has built another juggernaut. Should be another great year for him. And so in the game of the week, Crimson Rain by 9. Mark it down. So that's it for the week. Probably this is going to run a little longer than most do just because I was breaking down draft and doing weekly projections. Hope you guys are excited for the season. I know I am. I'm going to try to put this video together, do a little bit of editing, and hope you guys enjoy it. Try to get this uploaded so everybody can view it. And there's my picks this week. And everybody stay involved. Shout out to everybody that came to the draft. Fantastic time, and I hope you stay involved on the waiver wire and on the message board. We'll see you guys on the other side. Swami's out.